WNBA athlete that landed on the list. So that means Angel Reese was down somewhere below 10 million bucks. All right. In fact, they do tell us who is number 2 among sports related, like actual team oriented female athletes. Number 2 is Sabrina Ionescu. But as you can imagine, Caitlin.
All right, so get this. Only one WNBA player actually managed to make the cut. When you look at the absolute top 15 highest paid female athletes across the entire globe for 2025, there's just one, a single individual, who plays professional basketball right here in America. Now, if you've been paying any attention to the narratives, the stories, and the specific angles that certain corners of sports media have been aggressively pushing, then the name of that athlete might just completely throw you for a loop. Because, let me tell you, it's probably not the person they've been incessantly telling you matters the most in the world of women's basketball.
Pouring into women's sports, with athletes in basketball, hockey, soccer, softball, and volleyball reaping the rewards. But the top tier of the world's highest paid female athletes is dominated by tennis, and it has been for decades. The 15 top female athletes in 2025 include 10 tennis players, up from 9 last year, a pair of golfers. Damn, female golfing.
Breaking down the numbers, Caitlin Clark absolutely raked in a stunning $16 million in 2025, a figure that dramatically places her at a phenomenal number 6 among all female athletes worldwide. And here's where it really gets mind-boggling. Here's the absolute kicker. A paltry $119,000 of that came from her actual WNBA salary and any associated bonuses. The overwhelming, staggering rest? That was pure, unadulterated endorsements. Think about that for a second. Her league salary barely covers what you'd spend on a pretty decent car payment. Meanwhile, the giants of corporate America are literally writing checks so enormous, so substantial, that they completely dwarf anything the WNBA could ever hope to offer her from its own coffers. It's also important to note that tennis still undeniably dominates this exclusive list, claiming an impressive 10 out of the top 15 spots, which honestly makes perfect sense, given the decades of established prize money infrastructure and global reach that sport commands. But when you specifically look at athletes in team sports, Caitlin Clark stands completely, unequivocally, and utterly alone at the very top.
15 earned is an estimated $249 million this year from prize money, salaries, bonuses, and endorsements. It's up 12%. All 15 earned at least $10 million versus 11 last year and 6 in 2023. The 10.1 million cutoff to crack the list is up from 6.7 million.
Now, Sabrina Ionescu did come in second among WNBA players, which is a fantastic achievement in itself. But she still fell just short of the formidable $10 million threshold that was absolutely necessary to even crack this elite top 15 list. And here's a crucial piece of context. That cutoff, the minimum required to be considered among the world's highest-earning female athletes, wasn't static. It actually jumped from $6.7 million in 2024 to an eye-watering $10.1 million this year. That's a nearly $4 million increase in the bare minimum just to qualify for a spot on this list, which, when you consider it, means some huge names simply didn't make the cut. Angel Reese, despite all the hype and attention, didn't make it. And get this, Aja Wilson, the league's reigning MVP, the player with her very own signature shoe deal with Nike, the dominant, undeniable force in the paint who led her team to an actual championship. Even she couldn't reach $10 million in combined salary and endorsements. So, let me ask you, really think about what that unequivocally reveals about the actual tangible market value versus the often inflated, perceived importance that certain media outlets have been so aggressively pushing for months.
The skier, Aline Gu, and most of these is from endorsements. Some of the tennis, Coco had 8 million, Sabalenka, 15 million. Simone Biles, 11 million, almost all from endorsements.
The financial chasm, the literal, canyon-sized gap between what Caitlin Clark earns and what the next highest WNBA player brings in is nothing short of massive. We're not just talking about a slight edge or a marginal difference in marketability here. We're talking about a staggering difference of at least $6 million and potentially even more, depending on the exact figures where Ionescu ultimately landed. This isn't just a marketing advantage, it's an absolutely monumental, canyon-sized disparity in how major corporations fundamentally view an athlete's inherent ability to move products, to drive sales, and to genuinely connect with and influence a broad spectrum of consumers. And here's what makes this even more astonishing. This monumental achievement unfolded in her very first year, her rookie season, while playing on a team that hadn't even sniffed the playoffs in years. Furthermore, she's not even in a traditionally massive media market like New York or Los Angeles. Instead, she's in Indianapolis, a mid-sized Midwest city that, solely because of one player, suddenly transformed into a must-see television event, literally changing the sports landscape overnight.
Most lucrative endorsement deal is New Balance. Man, New Balance got all kinds of athletes on their commercials now. I'm like, wow, it ain't your dad's walking shoe no more, I don't guess. Baker Tilly, Bose, Head, Rolex, Mercedes-Benz, Chase Bank for golf. Let me just come down here. Clark missed 70% of the Indiana Fever's games during the WNBA season as she struggled with injuries, but it was another record.
So, let's really break down precisely who is investing in her, who is actually cutting these enormous checks. Back in August, Nike, the undisputed sportswear giant, made a monumental announcement, officially declaring Clark a signature athlete, with an entire highly anticipated collection slated to drop in 2026. This instantly places her alongside elite company like Aja Wilson and Sabrina Ionescu as one of the very few active WNBA players to boast her own signature sneakers. But here's the thing, the Nike deal, as massive as it is truly just the foundational layer of her incredible portfolio. Gatorade, a powerhouse in sports hydration, features her prominently in national advertising campaigns that reach millions. State Farm, a ubiquitous insurance giant, has literally built entire commercial series around her charismatic persona. Wilson Sporting Goods, a legendary name in sports equipment, created special edition Caitlin Clark basketballs, and get this, they sold out immediately every single time they dropped, without fail. Panini America, the go-to for trading cards, secured her for exclusive card deals. Then you have Gainbridge, Xfinity, HY grocery stores, and most recently the wildly popular Stanley brand, famous for its tumblers, all joining her rapidly expanding roster of partners. Now, let's be clear. This isn't merely a typical endorsement portfolio that you see with many athletes. This is the kind of breathtaking, star-studded brand partnership lineup that you typically only ever see with truly transcendent athletes, those rare individuals who effortlessly cross over and embed themselves deep into mainstream American culture. These aren't just niche sports brands trying to reach a dedicated segment of WNBA fans. No, these are massive, household name corporations making colossal bets, staking their reputations and millions of dollars on the unwavering belief that Clark can sell products to an audience that, until she arrived, may have never watched a single women's basketball game in their lives.
Falling just short. So if you are to believe what this says, that means Ionescu was somewhere maybe just under the $10 million mark for a WNBA player, which is interesting. That means Angel Reese did not make the cut in the top two at all. And
the timing here, my friends, truly matters. This particular list captures earnings specifically for 2025, which is a critical detail because it precisely reflects the first full year of Caitlin Clark's professional contracts. Her legendary college career at Iowa concluded with that unforgettable, insurmountable championship loss to South Carolina in April. She was then immediately drafted by the Indiana Fever right after that, and within an astonishingly short span of just 12 months, her off-court income skyrocketed, vaulting from an already impressive $11 million to an incredible amount. That isn't just a slight bump. That's a massive $5 million jump, fueled by a combination of her existing deals ramping up to their full, significant value and a whole host of brand new, lucrative partnerships coming online and starting to generate income. And here's where it gets even more exciting for the future. The highly anticipated Nike signature shoe hasn't even officially launched yet. When that collection finally drops in 2026, we are almost certainly looking at another truly significant, perhaps even monumental, increase in her total annual earnings. This trajectory, folks, isn't just maintaining its pace, it's accelerating at a rate that is truly remarkable to witness.
Clark as the latest signature athlete with a new signature logo, collection of sportswear and apparel, and a signature sneaker to debut in 2026. She joined fellow Nike athletes A'ja Wilson and Ionescu as active WNBA players with signature sneakers. Clark's other sponsors include Gatorade, State Farm, Wilson, Peony America, that's trading cards, Hy-Vee, Xfinity, Cambridge, and Lilly.
Let's take a moment to compare this incredible situation to the tennis players who consistently dominate the very top of this earnings list. You have someone like Coco G, for instance, leading everyone at a staggering $31 million, with $8 million coming directly from prize money earned on the court and a colossal $23 million from endorsements alone. Then there's Aryna Sabalenka at number 2, who earned a jaw-dropping $30 million total, with half of that, a full $15 million, coming from her prize money winnings. These are elite athletes who compete in a sport with an incredibly established global infrastructure, massive network television deals that rake in billions, and generational wealth that has been flowing through the system for decades. In stark contrast, Clark is building comparable, even transcendent, endorsement value within a league, the WNBA, that frankly struggles to fill arenas outside of her own games. This is a league where the average salary for a player hovers around a mere one. It's a league that just negotiated a new media rights deal that, let's be honest, some players publicly criticized as being grossly inadequate. Yet, despite all these inherent limitations and the economic realities of her league, she is absolutely transcending them through pure, unadulterated individual marketability.So. The burning question becomes, what does this actually mean for the WNBA as a whole? And more importantly, for the narratives, the carefully constructed stories we've all been fed about who genuinely matters most in the world of women's basketball. Because here's the undeniable truth, the money doesn't lie. Corporate America, the ultimate arbiter, votes with its dollars, and they have made their choice overwhelmingly, definitively, and undeniably clear. First, we absolutely have to address the elephant in the room. For months now, certain media personalities and social media accounts have been relentlessly pushing this narrative that Angel Reese is somehow just as important to the WNBA's growth and surging interest as Caitlin Clark. They claim that the rivalry between them is the primary engine driving all this newfound attention, that Reese's distinct personality and her powerful connection to specific demographics make her equally valuable from a pure business perspective. Well, this list, these cold, hard numbers, completely obliterate that argument. It's not even close. We're talking about a colossal difference of at least $6 million and potentially much more. That, my friends, is not a rivalry in marketability. That is a hierarchy. Yes, Reese has endorsement deals, and she is certainly making money beyond her WNBA salary, which is commendable. But she couldn't even crack $10 million total in a year when that very threshold represented the absolute bottom of the top 15 highest earners. Meanwhile, Clark is sitting comfortably at $16 million.